So the next tip I have has to do with packaging content. As much as possible, we want to be concise um, so that students maybe aren't just as overwhelmed, or also that they can find things a little easier. So here's one option. So here's my Module 5 packaging content, and I want my students to watch these 4 different videos and then answer these questions. Okay, that's not too bad, I know. But I could have gotten a whole lot lengthier. I could have added a whole lot more. Sometimes it can get kind of lengthy. But I could also do it this way. This is less overwhelming than this. It's the same amount, but it looks a whole lot less. And perception is important here. So I could make a presentation, a Google Slides, embed each of those videos in the slides. It's easy to navigate then. Find where you need to go next. You just click the space bar. I post that one material for students, and then they still answer their questions. This is just a better package. Easier on the eye, less confusing, less overwhelming. Something you might want to consider doing is using HyperDocs. I've talked about this before. And there's lots of examples you can find online. Here's some high school examples that I'll actually put a copy of this in our Google Classroom so you can refer to it later if you want. But I want to show you a couple of examples. This is a Google slide, and it's for history, and so of course it's got lots of information. Videos embedded so that they can just click right there, don't have to go to an outside link and find it. They have other links that they can click on throughout the presentation. And then at the end, this is where they have to demonstrate what they know. And so they play a Kahoot game, create a slide presentation, and include a metaphor. Okay, so that's just one example. Here's one for human development. So there's a video to engage, that's your hook. Explore has all the multimedia text right here in one document so that they can look it all up and don't have to go various places. Then they have different activities they do throughout, okay? And then this one I really liked. So they click here for an example of a memoir. So of course you can link that through your Google Drive. So they read the memoir. Then they've got all these texts here that they can read and what they notice about them. Here's a Padlet that's linked. So after they've done all this reading, they click here to put their response on a Padlet with everybody else's responses so they can read them all together. This is really cool too. Then they have this writing activity they have to do, and they have a 10-minute timer. This is actually a link to a 10-minute timer right here in this document. So kids can time themselves like you want them to. And it just goes on from there. It's really, really neat. All that you can embed in one single document to make things so much easier and just more appealing for kids as they're working through the content that you want them to do. Now, like I said, I could have posted a story. This story right here, I could have posted that as a material. I could have posted all these 6 things as a material, all under one topic. Maybe that's my Module 5. I could have posted a link to Padlet. I could have even put a timer on there for them, but this is just a nice, neat, organized, well thought out package that's going to make things much easier for your students. I really would encourage you to consider how you package your lessons and materials as much as possible.